But now that you've asked the question, I am here for one reason. Academia says you're a crackpot.
Yeah.
But I'm just like some of you fellas. I have had countless people tell me it works. Now, I don't know what's right.
Like the bumblebee, isn't it?
You know, I finally figured out what I am. I'm a redneck scientist. I guess I'm still on my home farm outside of Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm a college professor. But when I'm not a college professor, and I'm out with my cows and riding tractors and thinking about this stuff. Now, let me give you a little bit of my history. So, again, I'm being honest. I'm here to learn. And I wrote down 3 objectives on the airplane this morning. I want a kit that works. Step 1, step 2, step 3. I don't want 100 things to do. I want you to give me a kit that works. I want somebody to come up during this after the presentation and say, I have done it timely. What I keep hearing is what I've heard you say. It works a time or two, and then it don't work anymore. So I'm trying to figure that out today. And the other thing is, I want a person that I can go to a website and refer to other people. Now, let me give you a little bit of my history and tell you where I'm coming from. And again, I'm being honest with you. Ira Nestle out of Davenport, Iowa, came to me 20-something years ago with this system. Because I've been working with hydrogen since the late 70s. And he says, I want you to test the system. He says, I'm getting an increase in mileage. Well, he eventually came down and put it on, and I took it over to the college motor pool, and I did get a 100% reduction in hydrocarbons. But I never did get a gain in mileage. So I put it aside. Matter of fact, I even put it on some vehicles. I put it on some race vehicles. And another thing I've heard you discuss today, and I'm kind of in this fellow's court as far as the years on this, a little did as much as a lot. We had one of our Nexus little units to put out a little bit, and we built a unit to put out 10 times as much, and it didn't reduce the hydrocarbons anymore. So the amount in our research, it didn't matter. So that's another thing I know. Well, like I said, I set this aside. I deal with pure hydrogen. My whole goal is to run engines off nothing but sun and water. So I'm on the direct wavelength.
That's it.
You want to hear about that?
You know what? We're on board with you as long as we don't have to drive up to a pump to buy it.
Right.
As long as we can make it on demand, we're all behind you.
Well, I'll tell you about that later. But anyway, so about 6 months ago, I run into this fellow. He said, did you hear about the hydrogen assist fuel cell? So I went on the computer, I looked at it, and the thing that the fellow said is what y'all been saying, you've got to adjust the computer to make it work. So I bought a system, paid $1,000 for it, paid $600 to get it installed by a professional installer. I'm sorry, I still didn't get an increase. Now, see, and the fellow that put it on says I'm getting 30% increase. Well, so I got the car back and tested it myself. When I pulled up to the pump, this particular Mercury Sable 1995, it's always been real funny. When the pump clicks off, you're supposed to stop. It says don't overfill it. Well, if I'd have done data then, I'd have got a 30 or 40% increase. But I says, I am going to keep popping gas out of this thing till it flows over the top. I got 4 more gallons in it. I got 4 more gallons in it. And then when I did my data that he said he got 30% increase in, I didn't get any. So I'm not knocking it. I'm here to learn. I just want a system that works. I am open-minded. If you've done it, I believe you. But a lot of people, now I'm really more out of psychological research than mechanical research. There is a thing called the Hawthorne effect. When you're researching something, you kind of get excited and you want to gain so much that you almost trick yourself into thinking you do. I'm not saying this is happening. I'm just here to learn, and I can't make, I've told you all I know about hydrogen enrichment. Now, if you want to hear later how to run engines completely off sun and water, we'll talk about that.
Well, actually,
I
to be perfectly honest with you, not later. This is a forum of, because all of us, our end goal, our mecca is 100%, right? I mean, you know, so let's, I mean, we are definitely on your wavelength on that. We'd love to hear right now, you know, exactly that, because what beef we have is, let's face it, the oil companies have controlled us for so many years, and now T-Bone Pickens and the other ones say, oh, natural gas is the new wave. Well, why? Because you can still pump natural gas. I use the example between Nikola Tesla and Edison. Edison had to find a way to be able to charge us for electricity. Nikola Tesla wanted to give it away. Nikola Tesla ended up broke. Edison was a billionaire. Okay, so you know, I mean, I think that, you know, recognizing there's nothing wrong with making money in the industry, and you know, even though I spent the last 10 years in Russia, but basically, I'm not against that. I just want to make sure that when you're on the wavelength of, it's about time that we know that solar, wind, geothermal, you know, hydrogen in combination can remove from the grid, get us back on track, stop the obsession with oil fuel, you know, hydrocarbon fuels. And so that's why when you say later, no, this is what the forum's for. I mean, you have probably 100 people that want to know exactly what you're talking about. I do. So,